I can.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, ladies. I've been asked to come and let everybody know that by now you have received your 2023 notices of value. And if not, they're coming in the mail. Don't be thinking that you're not going to get one. It might be a little surprising to some that the values have increased substantially in Otero County. Across the state, the average increase in residential properties is between 45 and 48%. Some counties have gone up as much as 80%. And there isn't a county that didn't go up at least 20%. The median increase in Otero County, countywide, was 59%. And let me go back just a little bit. The assessor's office is responsible for collecting data, sales data, and the time frame that we collected sales data on for this valuation is between January 1 of 2021 and June 30th of 2022. And then we take all those sales and we qualify the ones that are that we need to qualify, which means they're an arm's length transaction, knowledgeable buyer and seller, transfer money, and that. Then we take those sales and we stratify them and analyze them and separate them into economic areas. So La Junta and Swink is economic area 1, Rocky Ford's economic area 2, Manzanola and Chirac is economic area 3, economic area 4 is Fowler, and then we put all the rural residential sales in one group. And then we value those properties in La Junta, we value them by neighborhood. So, and to stratify them down to find enough area to where we're valuing like homes with like homes. When we take the sales file and value that, and then we apply it to all the homes that have not sold, so that we have a good idea of if those homes actually did sell, that's what a reasonable sale price would be for that time frame. So leading up to the January 21 through June 22, of course, we had COVID. And in the summer of 2020, COVID was relaxed. Some people started moving about, and they realized, but at that time everybody was still working remotely from home, and they realized that it didn't matter where they lived, they could still work. So that instilled some interest in people not living in the metropolitan areas and moving to the more rural areas, which increased some interest, particularly down here. And we also had low interest rates. We had interest rates in the 2s at that time, so people could really afford to get into a new home. And we had low inventories. We didn't have a lot of homes that were available at that time. And we saw people from the metro areas that were already in a high valuation situation. Homes in the metro at that time were $600,000 on the average. And so they were thinking, well, we can get out of our home now and go somewhere else and pay half the money, get a big bang for our buck, and still have money left over. So with the with all of that, 21 showed up, and then we had an increase. Well, we had the word had come down that interest rates were going to increase, so that sped up everybody's buying desires. So because they still wanted to get the low interest rates, so that instilled more demand, which started to increase prices on a low inventory. And then that, as that went by, that fueled the rental market. People were thinking, well, we can't afford this stuff because it's getting out of reach, so we're going to rent. So people started buying rentals. That increased more demand on a fixed inventory. And then, as things were getting tighter, well, then the fix and flippers showed up. So they started buying low value homes, fixing them up, flipping them over, and making a profit. That tightened things up more, so the prices, so we're seeing a steadily escalating value of homes that are available for sale. And we still had reasonably low interest rates, so people figured that they could take advantage of that. Now since then, since June 30th of 2022, interest rates have reached a high enough level that the number of sales has decreased. Sales are sitting on the market for quite a bit longer. If a home does sell, they're still selling at a relatively high value. So that's the kind of the way things have gone for the last 2 years, 2.5 years. Now, a lot of people are concerned not necessarily about the value of their home, but about the tax bill that they're going to have to pay in 2023. We're getting tons and tons of calls saying, what's this tax that I'm going to have to pay? Well, the tax bill has three major components. It has the value, which the assessor's office is responsible for. And then we have the assessment rate, which the legislature has taken control of. So they they lower the assessment rate. You can't raise the assessment rate without going to a vote of the people. And with the way things have gone for the last 15, 18 years, the assessment rate has always dropped. Even when we had Gallagher, all of that, the residential assessment rate has dropped. And then the third component is the mill levies by the entities. So all the entities that comprise your tax district, which includes the county, the school, the fire district, conservation districts in our county, comprise primarily the total of the mill levy. That all those individual mill levies get totaled up, and that creates your tax bill. So it's not all the assessors doing that causes a tax bill to be created. It's all these two other factors that are applied that actually create what you owe in tax liability. Any other questions?
No, I think that was a very good explanation.
And I guess I will address commercial industrial. Commercial properties countywide only increased a median of 8.4%. And it ranged from 8 to 11, I guess. Industrial went up just a little bit higher, but it's been relatively stable and steady. And I do want to say that currently the value that a person got on their residence, the value will be reduced by $15,000 down to a minimum level of $1,000 assessed, which at the present assessment rate is $14,781. We can't go any lower than that. And on commercial properties, they will be decreased $30,000 down to the same $1,000 assessed. So there is some relief on the way, and the legislature at present is working on other things that may or may not help to relieve that burden a little bit more. So that's all I have.
Excellent.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate